It's always hard to live up to something like that on an introduction, but so trust, it's one of the most important things we have to offer our clients. I guess I should move this along. Hang on, there we go. But why would I trust you if we haven't even met? One of the things that we probably don't think about is we make a first impression online in very much the same ways we do in person. And so what I'm asking you to do is start to pay attention to that. Actually, really look at that. So when you make a first impression, a couple things happen. The first one is what's called primacy, and it's that initial information we take in, we make a first impression, we base it on whatever social filters that we have, and here's what's scary. We seize and freeze it, and it anchors into our psyche. So that first impression stays. Now, it stays even more when we're busy and we're under time constraint. So, right, we're all busy and under time constraint. So I actually have a motivation for being here today. And some of that is really, I think you're an amazing community. I love the Hudson community. I'm biased, but I think we're the best coaches in the world. And I want to see you all look really good. And I think that we could, in many cases, do a better job than that in that first impression online. So I'm going to walk you through a very simple formula for you to think about. I have cards in the back table that as a reminder, so get those on the way out. And it's called the trust equation, and it's by a man named Charles Green. He was from Harvard, and it is 4 things: credibility plus reliability plus intimacy over self-orientation. So credibility, I would say that as a group, we do this really well. We at Hudson got a lot of credibility, good work experience, well-trained, lots of education, and what I notice, almost everybody leads with this and says, well, of course you'll trust me because I am credible. And that's great, and that's 1/4 of the equation. So part 2 is reliability, and this is a little bit harder to show online because how do you show, I say I'll do this and I show up. I set goals and I accomplish them. But reliability is a very important piece of trust. So here's what I've done with the trust equation is that I've taken it and I've run it through my filters of what that looks like online. And with credibility, there's a couple ways you can do it. We've all been taught, like if we do a website, that you should have like a testimonial. So a testimonial can say, speak to your credibility. That's a good place to do it. Another place to do this is in that summary section of your LinkedIn, and that's the place I think we should all really be on, is you could say, my clients count on me for X, or I set these goals and I achieve them. Something that actually you speak about it yourself. Right? So you can talk about your own credibility. But I think the best way is through testimonials and secondly through endorsements. That's another one. I have a client now who very much is about being a team leader. She's at a big tech company up in Silicon Valley. And part of her credibility is she's all about teams, and she has put pictures of herself in her teams throughout her LinkedIn profile. So the pictures have talked to her credibility as well. The next one is intimacy, and this is one you're probably going, really? Like intimacy? Why are we talking about that online? But this is actually my favorite part. So with intimacy, there's a couple things where this immediately shows. The first one is, what's your picture look like? And if you don't have a picture, I'm just going to pretend that you do because you all should. Sorry, that's my should part. But you should all have a picture, and you should look friendly, right? Do you look like somebody wants to get to know? Or, as I said to one of my clients, and actually he was just laughing, I said, was this like your high school football picture where you're trying to look tough? I said, because you do, and no one's going to want to talk to you. And he goes, yeah, I was trying to look serious. And I said, well, it's not very approachable. So it's not that you have to be goofy friendly, but you need to look approachable. You need to actually be looking into the camera as if you're looking at the person. You can't be looking off the page as if you don't care. And you need to look like you're somebody they want to get to know. So that's the first thing. The second one is, on your summary section in your LinkedIn, a great way to build intimacy is to write in the first person. So if you write in the first person, it invites a conversation. It now says, let me be in dialogue with you. But if you're in the third person, it says, I'm important. I am a credible person, and look at, here's what I do. Even worse, and I have clients that come to me looking like this, Mr. Smith does blah, blah, blah. Now you've got like 2 arms length away, right? So first person is a great way to build some intimacy. Another way to build some intimacy is by using a formula of about 80-20. 80% of your credible work experience, what you know how to do, your point of view and your thoughts, and about 20% of who are you as a person. Make me like you. Do you have anything interesting about you? Do you have hobbies that are interesting? Or like as an example, I ride a red Vespa, and I ride a red Vespa. It has nothing to do with me being a good coach, has nothing to do with me being a good professional, but what it does is people go, oh, that must be so fun, oh, blah, blah, and it allows your more introverted clients an opening to have a conversation with you. And it makes me look human. So back to what we've been hearing, if you invite a little bit of your own humanness into that, what you say, it invites other people's humanness to you. And the last piece on intimacy is they now have a banner that you can put on LinkedIn. And this is a great place to put some color that represents you. It could be, a lot of my clients are putting sort of geographies. I have a client who considers himself Mr. San Diego in the professional services. And so we put in the San Diego skyline for him. And he said, without saying anything, he said, I'm part of the community. I live here. You can trust me because I care about the community. And the last one is what's called self-orientation. And this is what I like to think of as the we factor. So as we talk about polarities yesterday and the infinity loop, I use that symbol all the time for this particular thing because it says it's not just about me and it's not just about you, it's about us. What is it that I bring to the table to serve you? Or what problems do you have that I can help solve? It's that we factor. And most people, if you look at it, it's all about them as they talk about their profile. I do this, I do that, make me care, right, in this piece. So in summary, the trust equation is about credibility plus reliability plus intimacy over self-orientation. And I invite you all to connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can start a dialogue there. So thank you all.